shall bestow a gift on the child.
Good evening once again, ladies and gentlemen. It's really starting to get frigid out there. I could really go for a nice fire right about now. Anyways, remember a couple of episodes ago when I mentioned that I was unable to review Maleficent due to some odd circumstances? Well, I finally found the opportunity to watch it, and I feel that I should share my view on it with you all. Plus, I couldn't really find a way to watch If I Stay or The Giver in time for this review. Yeah, I'm kind of bad at this. Well, don't worry. Next time, my friends. But for now, it's time to take you Once Upon a Dream to Maleficent. Based on Disney's own Sleeping Beauty, Maleficent tells the story from the perspective of our main protagonist, played by Angelina Jolie. We see her side of the tale of events before the plot of Sleeping Beauty, as well as during. And the question that the movie seems to ask throughout, is Maleficent really evil, or just misunderstood? For whatever strange reason, Disney has made it a habit to take some of their beloved animated classics and remake them into live-action 3D spectacles. They did it with Alice in Wonderland, The Sorcerer's Apprentice, and there are even plans to release a live-action version of Cinderella under the Disney name. Now, the results of these movies have been really hit and miss. Some elements are really good, others just fall flat in their face. And yes, this is how I feel about Maleficent. I guess we'll start with the mistress of all evil herself. Now, the design I felt was done very well. Her look is such that it pays homage to its animated counterpart. Yet Jolie is also able to present herself as something unique. Even her appearance before her iconic look I thought was really cool. Now, Angelina Jolie's delivery is very well done. She can be sly and seductive, yet also deceitful and full of rage. They did a great job in casting her in this role. The problem I have is with the character. Now, I didn't necessarily have a problem with it in the beginning of the movie. The movie gave us a look at Maleficent before the events of Sleeping Beauty, so I didn't mind the mischievous characterization that they gave her. Excuse me. Once the movie reaches the events of Sleeping Beauty, however, that's when it started to bug me. The character doesn't change at all throughout the entire movie. I mean, she's supposed to be the mistress of all evil, one of the most devious and evil Disney villains. And here, though, Maleficent seems to be someone who likes to play pranks on the three good fairies, and she even acts as sort of a mother figure to Princess Aurora. She's made here to be a much more sympathetic character. If this movie is meant to show the events of Sleeping Beauty from the villain's point of view, why change the character? Now, I get that Disney wanted to make a reimagining of her, but this wasn't the right way to go. If this movie were a prequel that went along the lines of, say, Wicked, for example, then I'd be okay with a more sympathetic characterization. But with the majority of the movie taking place alongside the events of the original movie, it really seems out of place. So how well does this movie tell the other side of Sleeping Beauty? If you've watched the original movie and then watched this one afterwards, there are a lot of things that don't make sense. I mean, there are a lot of plot element changes that don't really add up, and they contradict elements in Sleeping Beauty. Plus, there are some inconsistencies that stick out if you know the other movie well enough. Now, the main course of events they actually do follow very well. But with all the stuff that they changed, it's as if you're watching an entirely different movie. And some of the choices that the characters make, I mean, just what were they thinking? Now, if there's one thing you can depend on Disney for, it's their imaginative sets and magical designs. A lot of the magical stuff in this movie is creative, and there are a few scenes that would make it great to watch in 3D. And then you have some very poor CGI moments that stick out like a sore thumb. In one instance, the three good fairies. You have the faces of Imelda Staunton, Juno Temple, and Leslie Manville digitally recreated on small fairy bodies. And it looks creepy. Oh God, does it look creepy. Now, when they're normal size, it's fine, but still, no. Just no. Some of the magical creatures I thought looked very great and fit in wonderfully with the set of the movie. But then there were some creatures that looked like they came out of a bad video game. Now, I know Disney has done some amazing work with their CGI environments and creatures in past movies, but some of this stuff just looks unfinished. You know, I admit that this isn't one of my favorite movies this year, but at the same time, I do think that there's an audience for this. There's some great elements that do make the movie pretty to watch, and Angelina Jolie really knows to command the screen, but it's the way that they try to reimagine one of Disney's most iconic films that keeps this movie from being great. Why fix what isn't broken? But still, if you're ever curious as to another take at the Sleeping Beauty story, I guess you can warrant at least one viewing. I personally will stick with the original Disney classic. Plus, Disney has still managed to deliver some amazing films over the past couple of years. Have you seen Big Hero 6 lately? That movie is legit. Don't forget to follow me at Hair Beverage as well as the rest of the Mason Cable Network. Whew, I think it's prime time for me to take a nap.
I call on those who live in the shadows